You can say what you want, but the Pistons just got a lot more talented. And there are a lot of people that are kind of bashing the Detroit Pistons for the trade of Sadiq Bay for James Wiseman. And I don't get it. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why this trade makes sense for the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to explain what we're getting. I'm going to explain the potential of what we're getting. And I'm going to explain the absolute lack of potential of what we are getting rid of. So, if you remember earlier, I did a video. Oh man, this has to be 3-4 weeks ago on Sadiq Bay. I did a video on Sadiq Bay and how he really, if you look at the numbers, has not improved as a player since his rookie year. In fact, he has regressed in many categories. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in this video. But first, let's introduce all of you to your newest Piston, James Wiseman of the Golden State Warriors. Now, this is something that obviously did not work out for Golden State. If you remember, James Wiseman was that guy out of Memphis, I think, right? There was all the controversy with James Wiseman. Remember Penny Hardaway as the coach and all that kind of stuff. This guy is a legit 7-footer. He is 7'1", 240 pounds. He has played in a total of 60 games. No, he hasn't done a lot. Do you know of any other player who was injury prone in his first couple of seasons that didn't do a lot until he was healthy? Then all of a sudden, when he gets thrust into a starting lineup and starts getting minutes, all of a sudden he starts producing at a much higher level? Oh, that's right, Killian Hayes. It's almost like we have experience with something like this. Weird, right? They were drafted in the same draft. So he's drafted to the Golden State Warriors. He doesn't play a lot in his rookie year, and he plays in almost half the games. When he did play, he played 21 minutes, and this is for a championship caliber team. I just want you to remember that. This is for a championship caliber team. And in those 21 minutes, he shot 52% from the field, 32% from three. He had 6 rebounds and a block shot. Remember these numbers. Now, this year, he missed all of last year, and he was injured to begin the year this year. How much of it is injuries? How much of it is simply he's trying to figure out his way, and a team that's competing for a title doesn't have time for it? I don't know. But he is a guy that I think when he has the opportunity, he could start putting up some big numbers. In fact, I already went and got him on my fantasy basketball team because the Pistons have already come out and said they plan to start James Wiseman. What they are saying is they think that he is a big part of the Pistons' future, and they want to know what they have in him. So I know what you're saying about the front court and how it log jams it. We are going to talk about that. We are 100% going to talk about the logjam in the front court. But first, I want to talk about what the Pistons are losing. All right. And what they are losing is a man named Sadiq Bay. I think he is a guy that Pistons fans have grown to love. I think, well, I'm not grown to. They loved him right away. And I think as the time has gone on, if you've watched a lot of Detroit basketball, over the last 3 years, you've probably grown frustrated with Sadiq Bay. The best compliment you could give him is that he is a streaky shooter. The worst compliment you could give him is that he's just not a good shooter. So let's look at him. So you have on top here, you have the 2021 season. Okay. That is his rookie year. And then on the bottom, you have his most current year. Minutes, he's playing a minute and a half more. He's shooting the exact same field goal percentage. He's shooting 3.5% worse from three, and his career 3-point field goal percentage has gone down, not up. He's almost the exact same from the line. He is the exact same amount of rebounds. He has pretty much the exact same amount of assists, steals, blocks, turnovers, fouls. He is converting it into 2.4 more points just because he's not a rookie. So he's being more aggressive and going to the inside. Look, people, listen, he is playing 2 minutes more a game and his numbers are almost the exact same. His percentages have either stayed the same or gone down in critical areas. His defense is not great. The only place that he can honestly shown that he can play pretty decent defense is in the post as a 4, as weird as that sounds, against bigger threes, or when he slides into the 4 position. And we know what we want to do with the 4 position, and it's probably not Sadiq Bay. So it's Bojan Bogdanovic, it's Isaiah Stewart, it's a large amount of big men playing. So before you get too angry about this trade, please realize Sadiq Bay is an inefficient scorer that plays below average defense. That's what he is. And they are the same time. Their contracts will be due at the same time for re-signing. And when you look at this, do you like the potential ceiling? Do you like the potential ceiling of a guy like James Wiseman, or do you want to just keep sitting on Sadiq Bay, who has very clearly shown you what he is? Now, maybe on a different team, on a better team, it changes when he has more open opportunities, but there are a ton of guys that are that 6'6" to 6'9", play the wing, stand in the corner, shoot the 3, play elite defense, that do it better than Sadiq Bay does. You can find them all over the place. You can't find 7'1" big men who have the potential to stretch the floor, who have the potential to be elite rim protectors everywhere. You can't find that. So when we look at it, you're like, okay, so now let's look at James Wiseman and let's look at what a lot of Detroit Pistons are saying. Well, isn't he just basically a carbon copy of Marvin Bagley? No. He's not. He is not a carbon copy of Marvin Bagley. Yes, they're both lefties. Yes, they're both big. Yes, they both are low 30s, high 20s, right? I mean, Wiseman's already a little bit better of a three-point shooter. But yes, neither of them have the great ability to stretch the floor. We said that about Isaiah Stewart too. Yes, they're both injury prone. You're right. But there is one glaring difference between James Wiseman and Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley has proven, without a doubt, he is not a good defender. He has had more than ample time. I believe this is his 5th, 6th year in the league. 5th. He has had more than ample time to show and improve on the defensive end and the defensive side of things. He has not. James Wiseman is already twice the rim protector that Marvin Bagley is. He has the ability defensively to help be an anchor at that position. He has the ability to score at each level, just like Bagley, yes. So when you look at it, it's like, yeah, maybe he is similar to Bagley. You want to know what the difference is? He's a little taller. He's a better defender. And the upside is even greater. I think both these guys were number 2 overall picks. Big lefties. So what do you do with the front court? What do you do with the front court? Okay, fair question. Well, Bagley's not here right now. And the Pistons have been playing Sadiq Bay and Jalen Duren in the starting 5 next to each other, and then one of them has to pop out at 6 minutes. The other one finishes the first quarter. Then Stewart comes in to be the backup 5. Noel's not playing. Bagley's been hurt. If you have watched Pistons basketball this year, you know that the front court has been a position that has been decimated by injuries, and we've consistently been playing small ball 5 because we have no other options. So you can sit here and you can talk about a crowded front court. You can talk about, like, well, what do you do with Duren now? What do you do? I'm going to let the coaching staff figure that out. But here's what I do know. The Pistons have been playing shorthanded at center all year. And they are one tweaked ankle, which has happened multiple times, one bad shoulder, one anything away from having one center. And oftentimes it's Duren that gets a tweaked ankle, and they're left with Isaiah Stewart, who's not even a true center. He's a 4. Don't talk about the crowded front court. Let the team figure it out, because this year our front court has been absolutely destroyed by injuries. And who wouldn't want to see the trial and error of, hey, maybe Wiseman can shoot more than we think he can. What if he plays the 4 and Duren plays the 5? What if he's playing next to Stewart? Like, all of these guys can play next to each other. This is exciting. I have been wanting and waiting for this trade because I believe James Wiseman has the ability to be that next really good, lanky, get me some boards, get me some blocks, but he has a better offensive game than almost any of the other tall, lanky guys. Go for it. Hey, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Memberships are live. Feel free to hit that up. Great way to support the channel. We love talking Pistons. We love talking Lions, and we will see you on the next one.